After Kirinji, Hikifune and Nimaya sacrificed themselves to enable Senjumaru to release her Bankai and defeat the Elite Guard, they still couldn't defeat them. This was because Yhwach activated the Almighty and empowered the remaining members, nullifying the Bankai's effect of Senjumaru, and this allowed Uryu Ishida to defeat and kill her. Thus, we can say that the first episode of this part, guys, marks the end of Zero Squad, with all its members dead, except for Ichibi, who managed to return after Ichigo called his name, but as he said, he is now almost out of the game. So, what will be the fate of Zero Squad, especially the dead members? Will they return to life? Will they have a role in the remaining events? All these questions, guys, will be answered in this video. So guys, Squad Zero was defeated. Of course, we need to mention that the way Squad Zero's end is depicted in the anime is completely different from how it is in the manga. If the manga version had been adapted, it would have been a disaster for the fans of Squad Zero. For example, in the manga, Uryu had no role in the fight against Squad Zero. He and Hirschfeld were merely watching the events. Unlike in the anime, where his role is much more significant, and it's fair to say that the anime has almost developed a new storyline regarding certain events, such as what happened to Squad Zero and Uryu's role. In fact, anime Uryu is no longer manga Uryu. They are quite different, even in personality. Anime Uryu is much more determined to achieve his goals and appears darker in doing so. And this hints that future events involving Uryu might lead him to do even more dangerous things, especially when he faces his friends. And regarding Squad Zero, guys, in the manga Nimaya intervened just as he did in the anime, killing all the elite members by himself. However, Yhwach's use of Auswählen revived the elite guard with those distinctive wings, and then Lilibaru launched his attack and caused Nimaya that fatal blow. And then Yhwach went to fight Ichibi, leaving Kobo to imply that the elite guard would defeat Squad Zero. It is unknown how the battle in the manga unfolded, because Kobo didn't show what happened. He only revealed that after the fight between Yhwach and Ichibi, which was almost the same in the anime, we saw Yhwach head into the Soul King, and the next page Kobo showed what happened to the Zero Squad members. They were lying dead. In this scene we see Kirinji with blood coming from his mouth, and Nimaya lying atop a tree with a wound in his chest, caused by Lilibaru's attack, and Hikifune, I think she lost an arm, likely from her fight with Pernida or someone else. As for Senjumaru, she has a chest wound, but it's unclear who defeated her. And as I mentioned, Squad Zero's defeat differs between the anime and the manga, but the outcome is the same. They all die, except for Ichibi, who survived and told Ichigo to stop Yhwach. Now guys, let's go to the important point. What happened to Squad Zero after these events? In fact guys, with all the additions and modifications Kobo is currently making, it's highly possible that the way Squad Zero is handled after their death might also differ. In other words, the anime might not bring Squad Zero back in the same way they were revived in the novel. Yes, Squad Zero will return, but not in the manga, only in the novel. After the final battle between Yhwach and Ichigo, in the manga Kobo never turned back to Squad Zero members or Ichibi himself, likely because he wanted to end the manga as quickly as possible. But in the novel guys, it said that after the war ended and Yhwach's remains were placed in the Soul King's place, the first person Ichibi revived was Nimaya, and this was done because of the nature of Squad Zero members. As Ichibi explained, turning their bones to Oken wasn't for fun. This process merged their spiritual power with the Royal Palace spiritual flow. Therefore, as long as one of the members alive, they can revive the others. And that's what happened. Ichibi brought back Nimaya first, then the other members, and the Royal Palace also underwent some renovations, including the appointment of new guards after the previous ones were killed by Yhwach. And speaking guys about these guards, they didn't appear in the anime, but did in the manga. In fact, one of them was the one who called out the Soul King. In the anime, this was done by Ichibi. So with the arrival of new guards, Ichibi gathered all the members and told them the history of the ancient world. But what I'm wondering about guys is whether the entire Squad Zero was unaware of the Soul King's story. Did they not know about the ancestors and what they did to him? From Ichibi's explanation, it seemed like some of them didn't know what happened. Moreover guys, it's hard to trust Ichibi's version of the story, as it seems he changed some facts, especially regarding his own role in what happened to the Soul King. He blamed everything on the ancestors and claimed that Soul King didn't resist and had a will of his own. That's why with the new anime events, we might get a different version of what happened. And if that happens guys, we will see then Ichibi's true role and what he did in the past. As for the present guys and Squad Zero's fate in the anime, I think they will either be revived immediately after the war, as in the novel, and we will see scenes of their return in the anime, perhaps in the end of the 4th core, meaning guys their role will effectively end here, or this could happen early, and maybe they will have more fights to engage in. Anything is possible. No one knows what Kobo has in store for them. For example, we can't be sure if Senjumaru is truly dead. The studio focused on the scene where she inserts that needle into Uryu's neck, which could hint that what Senjumaru did in that moment might play a role in the future events. And personally guys, I wouldn't mind seeing Zero Squad return and participate in new battles, especially the other members. What I have been hoping for the most guys in terms of addition is for us to get some flashbacks about them. Learning about the past of some Squad Zero members would clarify a lot of things. Senjumaru's past would reveal her connection to Mayuri and her relationship with Kisuke if there was one between them. And the past of Kerenji would show us what period he was in the Goji 13 and how Unohara took his place, and then would learn who succeeded her as a captain of Squad 11, which is the second Kinpachi. So guys, as you can see, Squad Zero's past would be a significant addition to the story. But I feel their backstories might be revealed through their fights, meaning that while a member is fighting someone, their past will be revealed. Kobo has done this with many characters before, whether they were Shinigami or Espada. However guys, I think this might be difficult to achieve, since Kobo may be happy with what happened in the final episode, which might be their conclusion. Because as I told you guys, a lot of fans weren't satisfied with what happened to Squad Zero in the manga. The problem wasn't in not revealing their past or digging into their personalities, but it was about not showing their true power and what are capable of. In the end, we're not talking about the Good A13, we're talking about the Royal Guard, the ones who protect the Soul King. So no one could accept their path in the manga. In the end guys, what do you think would happen to Zero Squad in the future, and can we see them again in action, or what we have seen in the first episode, it's their end? Tell me guys your opinions in the comments, and see you in my next video.